if you guys train for self-defense, you probably notice that there are some limitations. How do you make your training much more realistic, particularly in the firearm space? You're shooting at a range. You could do force on force, which we highly recommend, but force on force, there's still some training artificialities. So how do we take your traditional force on force training to another level? I want to introduce you guys to Tim from AUFire, Accuracy Under Fire. And Tim is the inventor of a new reality-based training piece of equipment called Accuracy Under Fire. You may have seen us use this in one of our little shindigs in Vegas. It was a kind of a fun event we had during SHOT Show, but we're also using it in our Force and Force classes, and it is an important piece of kit. So I'd like to introduce you guys to Tim, and he's going to share a little bit about what AUFire is about and its benefits.
So yeah, my name's Tim Pierce. I'm the founder of Accuracy Under Fire. It's a reality-based training tool that simulates getting hit by gunfire. So there's a gap in training, and that is fighting back while injured. Okay, right now, I became a police officer in '96, and all the way up till today, we tie our hand behind our back, or we put a tennis ball in our hand and we tape it shut to simulate that we've been shot. Really, so what I did is I took this to another level. This is electrical muscle stimulation, right? Just like the same thing as in a physical therapy office, it contracts your muscles. And we did this with conductive fabrics inside these sleeves. So officer or trainee wears a backpack. This is the receiver, and instructor has a remote, and the trainee wears these sleeves, and at any point when he gets shot at in a gun battle, I can hit a button, and as long as I hold that button down, their arm muscles are going to contract, and that is going to be completely incapacitated. So they've got to problem solve under duress, in the middle of the gunfight, just like real life. So this takes training to a whole new level that's not been available before.
Absolutely. Like I was mentioning earlier in the video, force and force training is as real as it gets right now, and this takes it to another level. Now, can you run me through kind of, I guess, the settings or kind of exactly how the suits work? I know there's an electrical impulse in the sleeves,
yep.
But are there different levels?
Yep.
Tell us more about it.
Sure. So, like I said, the trainee pulls the sleeves on, and there are electrodes on the inner forearm, the outer forearm, and the bicep on both arms. And it's literally only 66 volts of electricity. So the same levels are even lower than what's in physical therapy settings.
Okay.
And so the instructor has this remote control, and we can, say we have these two guys going up, say as partners, walking up on a traffic stop. We can switch over to whatever number is on that person's back, and that's how we target that guy.
Got it.
So number 5 guy, shooting starts, and I want to affect the number 5 guy. I switch to number 5, and then I hit the corresponding button to his bicep, his inner forearm, or his outer forearm, or I could hit 2 buttons and actually hit 2 muscle parts and completely give him a chicken wing. There is nothing he can do about it. So yeah, just 66 volts, and we'll be coming out with abdominals and a calf sleeve, so that we can give a guy a peg leg as he's trying to move to cover and return fire, and he'll see the natural actions of his gun scalloping as he's limping, right? So you can get used to that ahead of time before it happens to you in real life.
Nice. So when you activate the suit, the device here, do you have to keep your hand on it for that electrical impulse?
Yeah.
Okay, then you just let it go.
Yeah, as long as I depress that button, you're completely contracted.
Got it.
So like say the shooting starts, I hit you, you problem solve, you return fire with your offhand, you put the guy down. Now you got to put your tourniquet on, right? Nobody trains putting tourniquets on under duress.
Yes, yeah.
Right? So
it's only simulated duress, right? Or you're shot, or but it's not really
It's all pretend up until now. And so you don't know when this is going to get you, where it's going to get you, at what point in the scenario, and then it's not going to let you go until the scenario's over. You've put the guy down and you've tourniqueted yourself and you completed that tourniquet. So it, definitely takes it to another level.
So is this available everywhere now widely? Are you still kind of working to get it in the market?
Nope, it's available now for orders. We build it to order.
Okay.
So this just rolled out last year, and just starting to get it out on the market so people understand what it is and know about it. And now we have agencies. I even have anti-terrorism teams in Europe running this now. So.
That's awesome. And I would say this is clearly for the civilian market. This is a really big step. And I mean, there are some people who will want to do this, and we are doing it in our Force and Force class today. Tim is going to be managing everything with all of our students. But I would assume for military LE, this is going to be huge.
Yeah. Yeah. This was developed, I didn't say this earlier, but I'm a retired LAPD officer. And this was developed because my wife, who was a retired LAPD officer, was actually shot and paralyzed on the job.
That.
And in her physical therapy, we were using TENS units on her legs to contract her muscles to fight off muscle atrophy. And that's where I came up with the concept. I put the TENS unit on my bicep, and I accidentally kicked it on high and locked up my bicep. And that's where I realized, yeah, it's immediate, it's totally disabling, it's totally out of my control, it's totally distracting. Like, that's got to be the same thing as getting shot, right? And if people have told me getting shot was like getting hit with a baseball bat, the immobilization, the confusion, the shock, the fear, right? And that's what you get with this immediately. So this is everything from getting shot and everything that happens afterwards.
That's awesome. In regards to safety, is it safe? Can everyone use it? Or
Yeah, absolutely. The FDA says with E-stim, never across the neck, never across the temples, on somebody with a known heart condition such as a pacemaker, and never on a pregnant woman's abdomen.
Okay.
Other than that, E-stim has been used in the medical field for 70 plus years. We did a white paper of 26 studies showing E-stim being used on the most feeble patients. And we also did cardiosonograms on us while we were being lit up full blast by AUFire on level 4, which is full contraction. And the heart does not even skip a beat. So we had the best cardiosonogram team in the United States actually tested on us, just to be sure. But yeah, it's completely safe.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Tim, for the background and talking about the benefits, the features of the system. For our viewers, let's take a look at some Force and Force action using the AUFire suits, and then we'll circle back. All right, for the first scenario, guys, you are going to treat one building. We're gonna bring you to a building, and you're gonna treat that as kind of your back door to your backyard, your door to your backyard. You're going to hear a bump in the night, maybe it's like 3 a.m., and you are just going to basically deal with the situation. Okay, so you're gonna be getting into your car, deal with the situation. Okay, that's all you need to know. Okay, maybe you're coming from the mall, bank, whatever. Okay, just know you got haters. Tim is going to be operating the AUFire unit, and he will obviously, he'll take care of you guys, probably from max setting, so don't worry about it.
This is the remote, and I can pick which person that I'm going to hit, let's say number 4, and then this is his right side, and this is his left side, so I can just target the muscles that I want to target.
Hey, you! That you! I'm at. Hey, easy, man! Your hands are viewers! Hey, took my money, man.
All right, so there you guys have it. We did some scenarios with some students, used the technology, the AUFire suits, and they had a great time, and it really changed up the typical Force and Force training. And as the students can tell, it changes the dynamic dramatically, where now they have to deal with pain. We only did one scenario here where it was usually just their strong hand that was locked up, but you could change it up and all the variables. But based on what we saw, is that today, is that indicative of what you normally see in the scenario training that you're doing?
Yeah, it just it throws a wrench in their spokes. You can see the confusion, and then they problem solve, and then they get back to work. So after doing this once, they have a huge advantage because that confusion window is going to be much shorter if this happens to them in real life, right? Because they've been there once before, and they were successful and put rounds on target after being wounded.
And that's really the point of force on force training alone, right? Just traditional force on force. People who do it the first time, they're really caught off guard. And now with the AUFire suit, like, people have never really thought, okay, what am I going to do when I have, I'm shot or, arms taken out? Now they have an idea, and kind of like you were saying, they begin to think quicker and react quicker. Yep. And so we noticed, I know in all the first runs, everybody was like, my arm is locked. What in the world do I do? And it took them like an eternity.
Yeah.
Yep. But great technology. If you have not tried the AUFire suit, this will take your force on force training to the next level. I'm predicting this is going to be a hit with Ellie and military. It's something, again, that fills a gap.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. So there are products out there that give you static shock that say, ouch, I'm getting hit, I should move to cover. Mm-hmm. This is the only one in the world that incapacitates a limb and makes you problem solve one-handed, just like in real life. Mm-hmm. This is as close as you're going to get to an actual injury in a shooting, but it's safe. It's safe, but the beauty is it's unpredictable. Yeah. You don't know when it's going to happen, where it's going to happen, which part of your body, and you just got to deal with it under duress, and that's where the real learning happens.
And before we wrap up this video, I just want to kind of circle back to what we saw in the scenarios. Again, we talked about people not being able to transfer quickly. They were completely surprised. Yeah. But we also saw the reality of, mags can drop. Yep. You have NDs while doing that transfer when one arm is locked, and that did happen. So those are things that this is going to bring out where your traditional force and force training might not, because they're under stress now, even more stress. And I would say, would you agree with this? I would say that people who are used to force and force training, in the beginning, they're all anxious, adrenaline's up. But if you do it a lot, you get to a point where it becomes normal. Yeah. This is going to take it to another level.
Yeah, you're kind of inoculated to the same old thing, where this will throw a wrench in your spokes and it changes everything. It's so unpredictable. You don't know when it's going to happen. So even just putting it on, knowing you have electricity on you, automatically turns your brain on another higher level, right? And you're taking it as if it's real, like you should. Mm-hmm. Even though you're in training, there's going to be some consequences, and so you're paying much more attention, and you get deeper learning that way. Yeah. Right.
Thanks, Tim, for coming to the class. It was great. And the technology, I'm looking forward to what develops. I know that Tim is improving this. There's other attachments that are going to be coming out. So if you guys want to check them out, and I'm sure Ellie and military, this will be up your alley. We'll leave some information down below. Again, Tim, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Excellent training.
As always, guys, if you like the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you have any questions, Tim will check out the video. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. See you guys next time.